Okay, so hello and welcome everyone, and to welcome every finalist. So for our first agenda here, we will be having our sharing and opening session by Mr. Chi Min Hao. So a little introduction about Mr. Chi Min Hao is that he is the GDSE lead for Monash for 2020, 2023 and 2024 session, and he is also studying computer science. Without further ado, let's invite Mr. Chi Min Hao for the opening session. Please give him a round of applause.
Mm, Hello. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, just a disclaimer. This is a very last minute slide, so please bear with me. Okay. Basically, what I'll be talking about is roughly a bit about Kitahack in general, the motives behind it, and also our aim and objective. And also, we will also talk about a bit more for those that maybe it's your first time in Kitahack, or maybe it's you're still new to a lot of the um, in terms of like extracurricular activities that in the world of tech you might not know where to venture off into. So this is kind of like a small piece of advice or small kind of thing that you need to know or you can know that in your few years in your university you can probably explore a bit more. Okay, so basically about Guitar Hack, right? I was told by Junyi it was re-established. So a very clear record of Guitar Hack was found last year, where my predecessor Russell, along with another lead, they actually headed the Guitar Hack for last year, and we wanted to ride on the momentum from that in this year, although with a little bit of hiccups. Yes. So the intention of Kitahack is to nurture local talents because there was a gap where we have a Google Solution Challenge, which is held annually, and for us Malaysia, we wanted to kind of have participants be motivated to submit solutions that can create impacts because in a sense Google Solution Challenge tackles the 18 SDGs of UN. So Kitahack is established to give that support system for all students in Malaysia or are stationed in Malaysia. Where that's why all the as many GDSE chapters in Malaysia as possible have came together to kind of organize this event for the benefit of the students. And we also try to provide as much resources as we can to further polish your solutions and to develop your solutions so that it's ever ready for Google Solution Challenge. So that you all don't need to do a lot of work to get advice, get consultations. We try to do that for you. And this is something that we want to establish as a yearly thing for all students across Malaysia. So, as I mentioned a bit for about the aim on objectives is about for interested students from Google Solution Challenge to be able to gain a head start in a sense, which is why Kitahack is based largely around the metrics and also rubrics of Google Solution Challenge, so that once you have all the advice, all the resources that you have, you don't need to you don't need to pay a lot of effort from scratch to develop your solutions and be unsure whether your solution will work or not when you submit for Google Solution Challenge. We try to do that for you through Kitahack. So we also wanted to use that opportunity to kind of gather all students across Malaysia to just have this community be maintained because we all know university students come and go. So we wanted to just have this platform where everybody a portion of them organize and a portion of them participate, and there's this community where everybody just connects together regardless if you're organizing or if you're participating. So Kitahack is one of like the main platforms for this to happen, which is why we have students from almost across a lot of universities that participated, and also a lot of chapter leads who have came here to kind of help with the organizing aspect of the event as well. So big applause to them. So the reason why we've mentioned this is so because we wanted to address this matter that Kitahack is not just Kitahack, but Kitahack is for Google Solution Challenge. So even though in a sense this hackathon is not as grand as other hackathons, but we always emphasize the fact that this is not the end. After Kitahack, there's also Google Solution Challenge, where where it's a more grand scheme of things. Although it's a global event online, but the scale of it is grand because there's a lot of countries, a lot of participants who will be joining in this solution challenge, and we want students from Malaysia to be able to be on par with universities from other countries. So this is also one of the objectives that we want, that we kind of look to achieve from Gitahack, other than fostering communities and also providing resources. We hope that with the resources that you all gain, and also for tomorrow's preaching, the judges' feedback that you receive, and also with the recognition that you have, we hope that with the remaining time until the end of February, you'll be able to be fully understand about your solution and fully understand what you want to achieve from developing your solutions, and not just stop at just the technical part, and maybe who knows, the idea can actually to be a reality, right? So that's basically about Kitahack, and the next portion is basically more about extracurricular activities. So this is kind of like a segment mainly for those that don't know what to do, uh, they don't know what to do in your university, and because there's a lot of students that kind of want to do these kind of things, but they don't know where to start, and also some of your or some of them have kind of a struggle in terms of trying to see what is available outside that could kind of benefit them in terms of skill development. Okay, so I'll just introduce a bit of myself in terms of what I do and stuff like that. So, oh, these are just statistics. You can just look it through. And we have about 15 chapters that we've collaborated. So I'll just list it out. So you have Monash, TAR UMT, UPM, UniKL, IUM, USM, APU, Taylor's, UTM, UOW, and UITM, and lastly Sunway and UM. So almost the whole of West Malaysia has collaborated just to make this event happen. So who am I? Uh, for starters, I'm just a mere human being, but just to properly introduce myself, yay, I am Min Hao. I am your co-director for Kitahack, uh, and I am also the Monash lead for 2023 and 2024. Technically graduated, finishing intern next month, so that's that. But I'm also entering Master of AI, and my specialty is more on the software engineering side and machine learning and deep learning. So mostly that. So that's basically about me at the first level. Then the next level is what I did. So throughout my 3 years of blood, sweat, and tears studying this course and trying to survive, I actually did committee stuff. And in Monash, we call it the trifecta. I just gave it the name myself. But in tech, in Monash, there's only three entities. One is the Monash University Student Association, specifically the IT, you could say School of IT, yeah. And then you have the Tech Club, and then GDSE. So for the Student Association, I was a subcommittee for the School of IT back in 2021, then became representative at 2022. And actually, I have the 2023 rep here, so hello. Yeah, and then at 2023, I was one of the advisors for the whole association. Then next is the Tech Club. I was a subcommittee at 2023. but I was actually at the same time the advisor until now. So there's that. Then came Developer Student Club. So I was the chapter lead and also the co-director for Kitahack. So that's the second level. And then the third level is in terms of my internships and the projects and hackathons. So I had a few internships that I did back in year one, and then I rested for quite some time until I did my compulsory internship. Then I had a few projects under the school, which was endorsed by the school, so I actually get paid doing it. Then there's also the hackathons, in-house and also external lah. And then lastly is in terms of events. God knows how many events I did. A bit too much, so please don't follow me. But mainly it's more on carriers, IT carriers, hackathons, community-based events like GDG KL and GDG Cloud KL, where I've just co-collaborated with Cloud KL and also KL just to in terms of the venue and logistics. So that's that. And also there's a lot of other small events which I don't mention. Okay. So you know everything about me practically, but does it all boost my grades? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't have the glamorous of grades, so you can take that as a pointer. I'm not 4.0, don't worry, and I'm not high scorer, not first class. So yeah, I kind of did sacrifice a little bit of my grades just to do committee stuff. Don't ask me why. I was a bit insane. But there are also certain things that I've learned along the way, and I think it could be useful to share with you as well. Since Kitahack, in a sense, is kind of like a community building, I also want to take this opportunity to kind of share what a few of us are also doing, because I do know some of y'all are also kind of leads in a lot of community groups, and also obviously chapter leads in GDSC. So the main question here is having extracurricular activities worth it? Some say yes, some say no, because some of it will say grades are everything, and some will say, oh no, uh, recruiters actually look at what you actually did outside of studies. So it's a very ongoing question that I think a lot of people might ask themselves, especially for the first years. Uh, Short answer, yes, for a number of reasons. Uh, I'm able to be here today is also through all the network I've gained, all the soft skills I built, all the leadership I built, communication skills that I built. And also, I think from there, I was exposed to a lot of things that I wouldn't have experienced if I don't try it. So, for example, hosting, technically reviving the whole of Monash through GDG events, because that's where I know not all the halls are perfectly furbished. So that's that. And also, I was able to have the opportunity to actually meet a lot of founders, a lot of CEOs, and also be very engaged with a lot of HRs. So that's where I start to know like what the industry requires. And from there, as a student, we try to kind of push the narrative to for students to kind of bridge that gap where we tell them this is the requirements, so go for it, kind of thing. And basically, I was a very hardcore introvert, so I barely talk. But it's only through extracurricular activities I'll be like, ah, screw it, I'll just talk only lah. Okay, yeah. So for the short answer, yes, extracurricular activities to a certain extent is very beneficial, especially if your university doesn't have a lot of opportunities, and also if let's say you wanted to be really really ready for industry. Okay, I don't understand some universities have initiatives, but a lot of universities, because university is university after all, so they are not very micromanager. They are not micromanagers where they just push all these events just for the students because they have their own stuff to take care of. But despite of all these extracurricular activities, there is moderation to it. Like what everybody says, lah, moderation is key to success. So when you join activities, do join the ones that will let you upskill in certain ways. This is more like a general advice. It doesn't have to be tech, but it can be something that you can develop, because it's only through these activities that you really learn something. Yeah. And there are also like clubs where it's more like a more community based kind of thing. Those it's not to say that to not go for it. But if let's say you're really looking for personal development, then do join those that you can see yourself upskilling yourself. Yeah, it can be from tech, it can be from uh, debates, can be from public speaking, so on and so forth. Okay, and be proactive. This is something that I've seen in a lot of cases where everybody joins and that's it. So if you really want to gain the benefit that I mentioned just now, in terms of joining extracurricular activities, then you basically have to just put yourself out there. Doesn't have to be instant because I know a lot of introverts. So just take your time by taking lower level positions. Then from there you get to work a lot until you reach a certain extent where you feel confident. Then you can start putting yourself out there. Because obviously one is most confident or most passionate when you talk about something you like. That's something that I found out as well. So if let's say your interest is based off let's say music, then when someone tells you music, then you have a lot of things to blabber about. Uh, if you got something about K-pop, got a lot of things to blabber about. If you're very expert in relationship, there are so many things to blabber about relationship. Okay, so it's only those that you have interest in and have knowledge in. That's where you start to be more confident. So you can build on that. Okay, and the next is trial and error. Uh, I relate very hard on this because I basically sold my soul to 3 years in Monash just to do all this kind of stuff. So there are high times, there are low times. I had times where events had barely any participants, but I had like 8 companies that came. You know what I'm talking about. So those are the low times. And then there were the high times where there's like almost half of the campus actually came for the event. And we felt really happy for it. So when you join activities, when you join community groups, when you join clubs and stuff like that, um, just know that there will be high times, there will be low times. So so take it as a, let's say, take it as a process. Yes, take it as a process, which leads to the next point, which is to treat everything as a process. So for those that have they are currently in first year or even second year, for the first years you can explore with your university's club. Even though if a club is dead, if you have the passion to revive it, go for it. If you think you can change it, just go for it. That's what I feel. If you're in second year or in your final year, in fact, then that's where you start venturing out to public user groups. I believe there's a lot of user groups that are being established already. For example, like MongoDB, W, AIML, all these kind of user groups. I believe they're all out there already. And there's also AWS workshops, there's also Google workshops that are out there already. So just feel free to go for it. If you don't know where to find it, there's always beloved Google search, hashtag Google, yay. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out there. It's just whether you can find it or not. And a portion of it comes down from networking because some of the people that you may network today may have resources and leads that you might not have. So do also take this chance, although it's a small group, but do take this chance to network. Who knows who knows your network will be your next CEO or next influencer. Totally not saying from experience. So yeah. Treat everything as a process. Okay. So basically that's that. Hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of a direction that you can go for or what you want for yourself. Yeah. Because a lot of tech talent nowadays, they just take the course and be like, hooray, CS, money, yay. But they ignore the fact, like basically they are hyping up the tip of the iceberg, but they don't know everything that's below surface, below sea level. So hopefully this very, 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 very short and not so formal session kind of gives you the idea of what to look for below sea level, which is the majority of the iceberg. Because it's only from there that your tip will be as stable as it can. So that's one piece of advice that hopefully for the new ones and also maybe even to those that are graduating or in the middle of your course, that you will find something that is useful for you. Okay. But if you still don't know where to start, uh, network. I'm pretty sure a few participants here, or even a majority of you, do have experience in one way or another. So just don't look at your laptops for the whole day. It's also bad for your eyes. So look at some people. Who knows? Doesn't and sorry. Then network with sponsors and mentors. I know there's not a lot of external people that came today. Sponsors, I think there's only like two people coming. Not two people, two parties coming. And we have another speaker that's coming after lunch as well. But it's still an opportunity for you to grasp. So do take the chance to network and also know a bit more for of these people. And who knows, they could be your next life mentor or something. Okay. And network with judges. So tomorrow we have judges that are coming. Do take the chance to network with them. They have pretty solid bios. So yeah, do network with them. And they, if let's say there's a business opportunity, then feel free. You can always work with it. Then next is, if you're in a university, especially for first and second years, do dig around your social medias, especially your university social medias, to see if there are any clubs that are doing what you're trying to do. If not, uh, I'm pretty sure a lot of unis, they have a process for you to create clubs. You can even do so. And this also applies for universities that don't have a GDSC chapter. The same goes for you. If let's say you are passionate enough, you have a team of people to follow that you can work with, then why not? Yeah. Then lastly, have a look at what your friends are doing. Although sometimes your friends, when you hang out with them, you feel that what the hell, why do I have only a one brain cell friend? But who knows lah? Suddenly Insta story started earning like 5 billion. Yeah, that could be a possibility as well. So uh, this is also a fellow truly reminder for my tech friends out there, to touch some grass, touch some human, not in a bad way, but yeah, just mingle around with your friends, just know a bit more of what they're doing. Can be your teammates, can be your networks, just uh, if you're nearby, you're close enough, just hang out with them, and just see what they're doing, and just have a little chat. Okay, so basically that's a very short session of mine, and hopefully from this session, uh, you know a bit more about Kitahack, and hopefully next year could be better. This year has a lot of hiccups. Don't get me started on it. Uh, and I hope that for those that are quite lost after Kitahack, hopefully there's some stuff for you to kind of venture off, and hope to see you all on the other end. Okay, so that concludes my session. Very short one. Yay! Yay! Okay, so if you have any questions, pretty sure no one's asked, right? Okay, I won't restrict you all. So if you have any questions, please, you can just directly find me. I most likely just camping at a random corner in Monash. So yeah, if you have any question, you can find me. But there's also other chapter leads here. Oh, can say hi. All the chapter leads. Hello, hello, chapter leads. Just wave your hand lah. Yeah, yeah, you have your chapter leads lah, all at the back there, all camping. You can just find them for more info. Just connect with them. And also sponsors, upcoming speakers and judges tomorrow. Just network with them. Just have a chat with them. Maybe flex your resume. Who knows, they'll like it. So yeah, okay. I believe lunch served, right? Yes. Okay, moment you'll be waiting for. Lunch is served. Okay, so whenever you're free, lunch is outside, and we will come back. We will have another session at 2 p.m. Where we will have a speaker about Gemini AI. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, everybody. I hope you all have a good lunch. So, for today's next speaker session, let's invite Miss Leong Lai from Cognisis. So, her full name is Leong Lai Fong, and she is currently the AI engineer at Cognisis. She is the Woman Tax Maker KL Ambassador, and she is also a Google developer expert. So, a little short background from her. Laifong is a research enthusiast, particularly in 2D computer vision, 3D computer modeling, and artificial intelligence. Outside of research and development, she loves socializing and learning about new technology trends. She is the Women Tech Makers Kuala Lumpur community lead, inspired as Women in Tech, and continues to bring diversity to the stages. Please welcome Ms. Leong Lai Fong. Please give a round of applause.
Thank you everyone for joining today's session. I know that you are very busy with the final year exams and then the Kitahack and all. Thanks for spending time this evening with me. So today I'll be sharing a little bit on Gemini AI, which is the latest LLM model released by Google last December. So anyone of you here already try experience with Gemini AI? Cool. How was it? Great. Great in terms of okay. Uh, uh, where you where you try the Gemini AI? Is it from the SDK Vertex AI or Bard or where do you use it? Right. Today will be a bit very similar. Right. Uh, but also I get the opportunity to also include a little bit introduction on LangChain. So have no? Okay, cool. Something let us go through it. And I must apologize first. Our laptop and already I slightly use for you the you haven't get the Maker Street last time you will not be able to continue the exercise today because we need to have the API key. And I think they just 1-2 days they just make the website key is already restricted. But I can show you what previously, I think last 2 weeks is still working, but suddenly I lost my key also because I don't save it somewhere else. Every time I just go to the website to get the key to copy paste to the collab. But now we cannot do it immediately. But I will share you the notebook. So when next time they open back the access for the API key, you just create one and put into your API key. Cool, thank you. So this is the agenda today. We'll learn a little bit more on the Gemini. I think you have learned a lot on LM previously, right? For different models. So this one will be a brief introduction. What has been the changes or advantage of Gemini AI model? Then after we will try to walk through some of the coding examples of Gemini AI. How to you call the Gemini API from Colab. Then after that, I will brief you a bit introduction on the LangChain, something you may not be aware on, but because LangChain is very important or famous in LLM because it's very seamlessly help developers to develop the LM applications. We'll go through a few examples how we can link the LangChain with the Gemini API also. So then it's just a bit of the summary on what we have learned today. So for those who have raised your hand earlier, what you have learned about Gemini? What is the difference between Gemini compared with the previous Palm model or BART model? The very main big difference. Anyone? Picture, yes. The very big difference of Gemini model is it is actually multi-model. The second one a bit tricky. Anyone can try to answer. Even the ChatGPT, OpenAI ChatGPT, they also don't have this feature. Something very, very new introduced by Gemini. LM is a very large model, right? So for Gemini, it is introducing 3 different sizes. You want to go, because running LM is very, very expensive. So one of the challenge to go for production or for even the real life application is very, very costly. So there's a lot of efforts need to be done to try to reduce the model size to be able to run into different platforms. So, and it is made possible by Gemini A model. So, very quick clapping to those who have answered earlier. So, Gemini model is multimodality that previously all the LM models but released by Google are just supporting the text. If you can remember all this prompt engineering, you give it a question, then you give it an answer or summarize or Q&A and things like that. So this is a very common one. So then the next question will be, can you work with images, videos, and all? So now it is possible with the Gemini models. But of course, this is the LM trend. For even for ChatGPT and all, they're also going for this multimodal, multimodality LM. So very, very exciting. This field is still moving very, very fast at the moment. So the second advantage by Gemini is it comes with 3 sizes: Ultra, Pro, and Nano. Maybe you can already guess. Still here, but okay. So the Ultra is the best model, highest performance and all. It's running on Google Cloud. So you will be most likely calling this, let's say, for production and for through the Vertex AI. So if you want to get the best performance, you can go for the Ultra, but then it will be the most expensive one. The second one is on Gemini Pro. So this is like a medium range for in terms of sizes and the capabilities. The score of this is actually slightly below ChatGPT 4. Yeah. But compared to Ultra outperform the GPT-4. So then you have a need to decide: do you want to be have constraint on costing? Then you go for the intermediate range of model, the Gemini Pro. You got quite a okay result, but not the best result. But if you have money, then you can directly go for the Ultra version. So the next question will be, what about on devices? So there's one coming up, not really being publicly released yet, is in the pipeline. There's this Gemini Nano. So you can run into, let's say, the mobile phone, the laptop and all. So it will be coming, I think, in Q1 this year. So this is something very exciting in when we talk about the Gemini. So this is the bit of the from the marketing. So it's actually the first LM models that outperform the human reasonings, and this one is using the Gemini Pro. Yeah. No, sorry, Gemini Ultra, not the best performance one. So you get the highlight of that. So if we compare to other models, this is a Gemini Ultra, and then the GPT-4, right? You can see a lot of the scoring is actually uh, oh, it claims right from the test is actually outperforming the GPT-4. But of course, if you are not using the Ultra, you might see that the result may not be as good as the GPT-4. Yeah. So next. So what about the images? So this is also you can see from the report being generated. I think it's in the Gemini research paper. It's actually being published. It's also claimed to be outperforming than the GPT-4 vision version. So very simple introduction on Gemini. It's already there. You may already see how it's also calling some videos with interacting with images and videos. But let's see. I know you all techie person want to see the code without many stories, but just that the API key you can't get it. You can try if you want. Try to go to this makersuite.google.com. See if you can open the link or not. Makersuite.google.com. Actually, last time it's under Palm API and MakerSuite. So now they're rebranding it everything to Generative AI Studio. Cannot, right? It links to Vertex AI document, right? Anyone can access. If you can, then you generate the key. You can use the key for following the coding exercise later. Cannot, right? It's not just my PC, right? Can This website Anyone else can Only my PC cannot Why They block me I use too much Can Then try to generate the API key. Go to this get API key on the left side. Then you just get the API key. Oh yeah, well, good news Luckily you all try. So go to, let me slow down this one. Get API key, click on this one. You should get the get API key website. Then I think there's a button, create one API key. You can just simply name it for your, for you to keep track. Then you copy this API key out. Can I will give you maybe like 3 minutes to see if you can get the API key. Can? Cool. Anyone having problem accessing to this website? You get the website or not? Do you link a link for that? Go to this makersuite.google.com. So if you, for those who are doing the API key, you can walk through the collab session with me. Wait. If you already get the API key, try to go to this collab. Short URL Kitahack-Gemini. Then you can code along. You can follow. If you already get to the collab in the file, make a copy because it's in viewer mode. You will not be able to do any changes or edit it. So then it will save to your own Google Drive. You can modify the code or save the code for yourself. Can or get the API key only me. I cannot run it because I don't have my API key anymore. I'll show you where you put in your API key later. Can Shall we continue? All good? Any issue before we start? Okay. So you should be able to go to this link. You can see, right? So to get started in Collab, the Gemini API key is actually linked to Gemini Pro. So you are using the second version of the model. So what is the prerequisite here? You just install Google Generative AI. You can run it up, but I will not be able to get the key here. Let me show you if I go to the Maker Suite. So you'll be Maker Suite, and then suddenly it will reroute me to this. So I can't get my key. So for those who are able to get it, congratulations. Then you can code along together. So then next will be importing the other packages. So for the important part here is what we need to get from to use the Gemini API model is Google.generative AI. We just transform it as generative AI. Then this is just a small function to replace the text. So this is the prerequisite step, right? You need to set up your API key. So the get API key, you link you to the Maker Suite, but for my case, it will route me to this. But if you get the key, save the key. So if you shift enter or run the shell here, you will get a little text box for you to key in your key. So you copy your API key from the Maker Suite or Generative AI Studio, then paste it over here for you to go through the making the API call. Can any problem? If you have any issue, just raise your hand. I try to support. Can cool. So once you manage to set it up, then there are two models actually. So if we are using the normal, like say, document summarization, Q&A, your input is just text, right? You just call the Gemini Pro. But if you just want to you try out on the multimodal one, you can put the Gemini Pro Vision instead. So you can try to see what are the models being supported. I believe it should be both, unless there's changes again. So next, let's try a simple example to generate text using the Gemini Pro. So you just instantiate the model. Very simple. The API is very simple. You just call Gen AI generative model. Then you just give the name Gemini Pro if you are using the text input. So later, if you want to try on the images, you just put the name Gemini Pro Vision. Then you'll be able to try on the images or video or audio. So, but let's try the first example on text first. Yeah, you can run this prompt, or if you want to try out some other prompt, you can just try to run it down. So you can see after I call the 2 markdown, this will be the answer being generated by Gemini Pro. You can try to ask it what is Vertex AI, what is LLM and all, and see what is the result, or is it doing any giving any strange answer, or actually a very good answer compared to ChatGPT. Can all get answers? Try to give you 1 minute. Try to think of another prompt or question. You are very pro in this, trying to ask a lot of questions from Bard or ChatGPT last time, right? Try to ask something using the text, see what is the result given. So in this example, it's still very similar to what you have tried if you have done the trying out to call the Palm API last time. So it's just very similar. It's just a simple text and you get the answer. Or if you want to try to ask mathematical questions or a coding question, that's also possible. So if in any time it fails to return result, right, you can get this prompt feedback to see what is what could be wrong in your prompt. So there are something that is being filtered as responsible AI. You cannot just ask anything, right? There are also people already putting some jailbreak version how to do human trafficking, and somehow it gets some models to reply it. So it's very dangerous. So there are some question that is actually being blocked or filter that the Gemini model should not giving you any answer. So you can try this if you feel it could to understand why it's not returning you any response, right? Try to get this feedback to understand better. So yeah, this is just an example, and you can see it's actually trying to return you on the safety or hate message and all. So I think I'll go through very quickly to save time. Is that we'll get into an example of image. So in the first step, I'll just get a public image online. So I'll display it. So this is the maybe looks like a lunch that you have earlier today. So then you send this image. So here to the Gemini Vision Pro, right? So your same things is exactly the same. Here you just instead of calling Gemini Pro, you call Gemini Pro Vision. then you just try to generate content and with the image as an input. So then you will try to mark down the response text. So yeah, this is the answer. Chicken teriyaki meal prep, brown rice, broccoli, and all looks very healthy. Yeah. Can any do you get the answer for images? So this is very some simple examples for you to get started. Of course, you can try with more challenging images or questions later. Try to challenge the model and see how it works after the workshop today. Something for you to play around this weekend. So far, so good? So, yeah, so the next thing is some other more towards more. So if this is very simple, some other examples will be into getting into chat conversations. So you can ask the model to start chat and then keep the history as into the list. So you can actually see how it can do a chat conversations with the user. So you can actually call this chat so it's model start chat. So this feature, if you are trying to do a chatbot, you just call this model.start chat and then you can get the response. Then you can populate with all the Q&A being communicated throughout. So this is a very simple example for in the Q&A. Yes, there are some other things like for using the token embeddings and all. You can go through it later, but to save time, I will go back to the slide to walk you through a little bit more on LangChain so that you can get the very good overview if you want to try to develop a LM application later. So we have tried on at least three examples. One is trying to call the simple input text to generate the content. Second one is the image as an input. The third one is the chat use cases. So you can go through all these. Do you still need some time for the first exercise? All good? Now, if that's the case, let's try to cover a bit on the LangChain. Who knows about LangChain before? Something totally new, right? I think that this will be something very interesting for you to explore. The Gemini one, I think is quite easy if you're already familiar with Palm API and all. It's just more or less the same things. So then you will see the very big question, what is the limitation if we just calling the API? It's just into the collab, right? It's not how do you integrate with your application. Then you will face a lot of issue because you are just calling API key and all, then it's not work as seamless as you wish. So then here comes with the LangChain. So LangChain is actually open source by Harrison Chase in 2022, and it's very popular in the LLM society because it just makes the LLM application so simple. The other kind of competitor for LangChain is, I think is, Yama index is very similar, but I prefer LangChain. So they have supporting two version or language. One is Python, one is JavaScript. But we will cover the Python for today. So it's open source orchestration framework, simplify the LM application development. So in short, LangChain does not release any LM model. What it does is just like a switch knife. It can connect to different LM models. You can easily connect to OpenAI chat GPT model, but you need to link it to your OpenAI API key. Then of course we have the latest Gemini A model also. In the coding exercise later, I'll show you how you can integrate connect the LangChain with Gemini API or Gemini model. Quiz. Why LangChain is popular? If you notice, right, the timeline of this is really a very good timeline because this is the time where the LLM get very popular. ChatGPT only get popular, I think, in 2 years' time, right? So as it get into the attention, everyone is crazy about it, LLM and all. Then we want to start develop something with LLM, right? Then they face a problem. There are a lot of things that to do the LLM design architecture. So then with LLM, it solves a lot. I'll show you the different components of LangChain also. So very quickly, we'll go through the LangChain framework. So there are a few parts here. I'll go through with you. Four components in the framework, or four package. They call it package. So the first one is Langsmith, Langsurf, template, and libraries. So the libraries is beneath the very low level of the whole thing. So this is the library package that is connecting to different LM models. Then we have the template. Template is very easy. It's just a different like different templates of prompts or design for you to quickly do applications. Like if you want to do a Q&A, it's just a similar design, right? If you want to do a chatbot, it's just a chatbot framework. So, there's a template, and also you can easily connect to all these different templates as a reference application to get started. We'll go through in details later. Then we have the Langsurf. This one is to deploy the applications with a REST API call. So then it's all built in. Then the last one, last but not least, a lot there. Langsmith is a developer platform for all any other things. Debugging, orchestration, monitoring, playground, testing, and all. So all the miscellaneous tasks. So in short, the LangChain framework you can use for development. Of course, it's in here we are talking about the LangChain libraries and LangChain templates. Then after you have developed your applications and all, you can turn the chain into an API with Langsurf deployment. Then to productionize it, you can just utilize another library package, Langsmith, to inspect, test, and monitor. But today a lot there. I'll just briefly introduce you on more focusing on the LangChain libraries there. So in the LangChain libraries, there are a few components. It could be a bit lecture style, but I think it's very important for you to understand so that you can easily get the advantage of LangChain with any LLM development. So there are 6 components, 6 or 7 here. So the first one is models. I'll go through one by one later. And then the next one is the prompts. So of the input, user input prompts. Then the third one is change the connecting for all the different components. Then we have the memory. Indexes will be more towards the database. Memory will be the history record. Then the agents and tools. So model. So there are a lot of models being supported by the LangChain framework. The famous one, of course, is the OpenAI and then Gemini. Even there are some open source LM model. Anyone know any open source LM models? If you try any other open source LM models, right? Like I think the famous one will be Orca Mini, and then Olama, and then quite a few. I can't recall right now. It's actually all can connect to the LangChain LM model framework. So then the prompt is a representation of the text input. We'll go through the coding example, how it can use different LangChain components together. Then chain is to connecting the input to the response. Memory will be the history record. Mostly will be if you are doing a chatbot, then mostly you might need to utilize the memory component. Then agents, it can enable to interact with the user. So you can just connect everything with agents. So just now we try on the Gemini. It just like very simple input prompt or image, then you get the answer and all right. So we want to look at the pipeline use cases. I think this one, if you go through a few examples online, this will be the very simple use case that has been touched along. So this is a Q&A pipeline. What is the limitation or problem with the current LM models? Very, very famous one. A lot of the times the LM models, the answer given is one, it's just trying to make up some fake answer, right? Hallucinations. Second, the answer could be outdated, or if you are asking a more up-to-date question, it's not in their training data, then it will not be able to answer. So these are the two major issues with the LLM models, right? Any LLM models facing all these problems. So then the question will be, very first question, what if I want to use my own data, my own company, my own university data? Then how? How? Train again. Use the AI model, train again. It's possible, but it's too expensive for you to do that. So the other second problem will be to try to use similar pipeline. You have the documents, your own data. It can be in the format of PDF. It can be something stored in your database. Then you connect it to the LangChain and then send it to the LLM models. So here is already built in, have the functionality to split the documents, the input to token chunks. Then you can, of course, store it into the vector store. And then when there's question coming in, so there are a few ways that you can play around with this. So when there's question coming in here, I'll just split the input questions, the input prompts, and then we will try to compare with the storage. What will be the closest answer towards this question? Then you get the user prompt, a more well-defined user prompt. Or sometimes you might just retrieve it directly sent out. But there are some other design that you can actually enhance the user prompt with the updated data and then send it to LLM. And then after that, you can use the improved response as a reply or as the answer. So then you get the power of LLM models, and then you get to make it applicable to your own data. So this will be the simple architecture design for Q&A system using your own data. I think there is example of codes in the next collab that you can go through it. So the other Platinum use case that is more related to chatbot. I think a lot of people trying to use LM for the chatbot. So here you can see in this diagram, right? There are different components, like the memory is actually directly used from the LangChain components. So here, so we have again, same things. If I have a questions being sent out, I think it is in the right cycle loops here. So we are actually having the prompt questions. First, we will send to the LM. We get the answer. Let's say, what is today a date? Then you get the answer. But at the same time, you are actually keeping it into the memory so that you can get the history of your previous conversation. So then the next one, you can also ask like, how is the traffic today? So then you can relate to the date of your current question. So the traffic of today. So what will be so it will be a improvement of it. It's not something that suddenly it's out of giving you an answer out of the context, right? So far so good? Yes, question. Oh, it's a thumbs up. Okay, cool. I think again, maybe this one is just for your very simple understanding on how we can design the applications, right? I think this will be the two main one. One is a Q&A system with your internal data. Then second one will be the chatbot. A lot of people are doing these two common scenario. So we will look into these two examples first. So I'll share you a different notebook and we can walk through the code. OpenAI, you all want to see? I can quickly cover since I already put into the slide. Same things. If you're trying to do if you maybe in your school project, uni project, you want to compare the result from OpenAI ChatGPT with the Google Gemini, right? So what you need to do is you just go to the OpenAI website, you register your user account and generate the API key. I will show you how you can set up your API key into the LangChain. Yeah. So it's very easy. So it's just the OpenAI API key instead of the Google API key. But after that, it will be more or less the same. But I'll be focusing more on the Gemini integration with the LangChain example today. So same things, get your API key, you already have it. Later we still need to use this. Just give me a moment. Ah, so I just share the second collab notebook with you. Similar URL, you just dash Langchin LC. It's a L, not I. Small letter L. Same things. After you get the access of the collab notebook, file, make a copy of the notebook. Can already? So you should be able to see this Langchain Gemini uh, collab notebook. Here, right, you just go to File, save a copy in Drive so that you get your own version. So to first step is to get the libraries right. So you just need to install langchain-google.genai to begin with. So after you have installed the libraries, you can see very familiar code here. This is your Google API key. You run the cell and then you key in your personal API key. I should have saved my own API key somewhere so that I can get it. I cannot just hard code it in the notebook, right? Because I need to share the notebook to you. But anyway, if good news that you can get the API key, can directly work on this. So simple example. So just now, remember how we use the calling the Gemini API directly from Google Generative AI. So here, if we want to do like a chat version, you can call, this is the components already, template, chat Google Generative AI, and then you just, same things. So you just, for if you are trying to use the text input prompt, you just initialize the Gemini Pro model. Then you can, so in LangChain, you just invoke with the input text prompt. You can just directly print the result content. So you can run it and see what other things that you can get. Or same things, you can ask it to create a love poem for you, or some other prompt that you want to try out, or maybe a simple song lyrics and all about some friendship or your university name. Then you will try it. Last time December, when I first try out this, right, I try to ask something for Christmas song or Christmas poem. So it's fancy to see what are the things that you can write out. So you can have a very you don't have to search of all these fancy words, right, for you to do a wishing, and you can create some fancy one on your own. So this is a very simple example. The second example would be on same things here, but here we are using the human message and system message. So in here, you can just set the convert system message to human to true, so that you can just add the system message to the human message. So example here is this is your user input prompt. Is apple a fruit? Then this is always happens, right? The LM model just give you a very, very long text and all. It's not what you want, right? So you can constrain it using the system message. I just want the answer yes or no. Like if you are trying to do another project for sentimental analysis, can just direct it to, I just want the answer as neutral, happy, angry, that's all, something like that. So you can utilize humans message and system message so that you can better manipulate the end result from the LM model. Yeah, so can directly see the answer. So you don't have to post process with all of the answers that is given, and then to try to convert it to the output format that you want. You can control or set up using the system message here. This one, as I try, maybe there's some issue with this, but maybe you can try if it still works. So just now, in the Gemini AI prompt, first example here, we try on the image, right? You can also do the same things here. So I just simply get an image, and then you just get the Gemini prompt, and then you just get like what is inside this image. You just invoke it. But I think I have some problem with this part. You can try see if your version works or not. It should be, I think it could be the image no longer accessible public. So there's a issue of cannot process the image source. Maybe you can try with a different image source and see does it work or not. But basically, that will be it for LangChain and Gemini. It's very, very well integrated. But of course, if you want to try out some other LM models, that's also supported by LangChain. So it's very, very user-friendly ecosystem. Cool. I think that's all for my side. I think there are some other more examples, but don't really use it that much for streaming and batching exercise and all. You can go through it, but normally won't be using that at the start. Let's see. Yeah. So these are the some examples that I capture in screenshot, so that in case I cannot run the notebook, we can see the results. Yes, this is the first example, and then the model one. This is just to display. At the beginning, it works actually. And then after invoke it, you get the response. The image contains a snow-capped mountain peak. I think maybe some API changes, or the image being restricted and was not. But initially, it's very direct and easy to just, like if you want to do an image captioning with LLM models, then it's very, very easy with Gemini A model right nowadays. Yeah, I think that's it for today's session, more or less. Yeah, almost time. So for today's summary, we have covered a very, very brief introduction of Gemini models, and then we go through a few quite some exercises, coding examples for directly calling the Gemini models, how to get the API key. I hope it still works. If you manage to get the API key, right, save the API key somewhere. Maybe next week you may not be access to the website anymore. I don't know why. So if you get the API key, you can always use it for trying out the Gemini model. Then also after that, we cover a bit on the LangChain. Very, very, very useful and easy to use for LM applications, for Q&A, chatbot, and all. We have different built-in components and templates for you to use it. You don't have to type a lot of codes. It's all well integrated. Then we also try some examples, simple examples, LangChain with the Gemini models. So I hope it was a very interesting and useful session for you today. And any question? Any questions? No. So if not, I hope you enjoy the session. Try to play around more with the Gemini model. I think it has a very huge improvement compared to the Palm API. But of course, if now we are calling the Gemini Pro, right, the answer given is, in some cases, are not as good as ChatGPT. But that's all right. You can still see it. So once you are familiar with the Gemini model, right, I think the bigger advantage of Gemini model is that you can use, once you are familiar with it, you can actually directly use the Gemini Nano data on the device. So you don't have to pay a lump sum for your LLM applications. Of course, please take note that Gemini model uh, is limited free. If you if you exceed certain costs, you may need to get charges. So, but if for your exercises, it's okay. you, you, no, yeah, like now they already blocked me. I can't even access. No, I think it's in a very quite a low rate. I think it's 0.00025 per token or something. But just for your normal exercise and try out, you most of the time you won't hit the rate limit. Even now, I don't know why I cannot get the access to that. Maybe it's some other programs that is filtered out and all. But then I think other than that, so far I don't face issue hitting the rate limit. And of course, I don't know if it will be more restricted next round because now it's trying to open for many users to try out, right? So it's not that restricted. The rate limit, the not so easy to hit for freelance and try out. It's, unless you are like go directly to production and like a lot of people calling and all, then you may hit it, but for some simple projects, no. Still I still use it as free when I try things out. Any other questions? Unfortunately, I cannot hack. It already blocked me. Cannot hack. Cannot get rid of it. Any other questions? Oh, good. I hope you enjoy it. If not, try to play around with it. If you get some very interesting results and all, post it out, share it out. We can learn from each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Leong Lai Fong, for the very insightful talk. Now we will have our company talk session where we will be inviting Relevate for a very informative talk. Please welcome.
Hey guys. Bit loud. Actually, this is not really a talk, but more of just sharing about Relevate, and we're looking to hire 2 interns and 2 full-timers. With me today, I have two of my engineers behind. For those of you who want to understand, not from a co-founder, how it feels like to work in Relevate, you can talk to them. So you can do that after. All right, let's just start. I think I prepared some slides. It's the same one you saw outside. Yeah. Free time now. Yeah. While waiting, maybe I just do a short introduction of myself. My name is Andy. I think I look a bit young, but I'm in my 30s. So I co-founded a company about 4 years ago with some of my partners. We built kind of AI automation solutions for the SME market. We been around for some time, and we have expanded to Malaysia. So in 2023, we started off the operations here. I'm the CEO of the market here, and oh, it's out. Okay. So our vision, right, is very simple. We want to create companies that run by itself. So we believe with good design, you can actually you don't really need people in a company. So you think of a standard furniture store. If you are an online commerce company, why do you need anyone there? You can buy off, you can contact third-party logistics, you can fulfill customer service, all via bots. So that's really our vision of our company. We are 4 years later, we are getting much closer to that. We can talk separately offline in terms of some of the cool projects we have done with our partners into making what we call autonomous organizations. The Web3 folks here is not DAOs. We are not DAOs, for those of you who know about DAOs, but this concept of an independently run business. Okay, if you go to the booth outside, you'll understand this joke. We try to make things automated as much as possible. Okay, so next slide. If you can go to the next slide. Oh, wait. Oh, it's here. Okay. So we are currently looking for two hires, full-time, and then two interns. Right. Here's our tech stacks. We start off as a Python guys because we're all AI folks. Right now we have expanded to JavaScript. We built front end with React. Our back end is fully served on Django, and we use mostly SQL-based databases. But of course, we do on ad hoc basis do other kind of stacks as well. We on the cloud deployments we do mainly in AWS, but we have recently expanded to GCP as well. But more importantly, all these things don't matter. We actually value good engineers. Nothing to do with stacks. If you are good, you can learn. So we think that great engineers build great tech companies. So that's really our belief. Yeah. Next one. Yeah. So our hires join us because of I think two main things. One is that they learn a lot and they love building. So we build products. Products are meant for people. So we are looking for people who are obsessed about building good things that people want to use. So make things that people want. That's really our core philosophy in Relevate. So I would say we are product first type of company. Yeah, and we and mainly my CTO, we're very picky. We curate a lot of our applicants to only keep the best in the company. We offer pretty competitive rates, 5,005, all the other things you see there. But I think those are secondary considerations. The main thing is whether you are the kind of person who likes to build. And if you are, come talk to us there or outside. We can chat more about the company. I think a good way to think about it that if you are naturally curious, you love to build, you find yourself as a bit unique amongst your other friends who are trying to climb the corporate ladder, trying to uh, uh, too focus on engineering, not on product. You might be the guy that we are looking for. Okay. Yeah, interested. Our application process is quite fast. We give a take-home test, one that can be done within 2-3 hours. If you pass, go straight to CTO or co-founder. We'll interview and we'll let you know within 2 weeks because yeah, we don't waste people's time and we like to move fast as well. So if you're interested, take down, fill in a form, even if you are not able to intern in the immediate term, you can reach out to us later on as well. So I think that's pretty much about Relevate and what we do. If you guys have any questions, you can ask them here. If not, I will be around and you can talk to me about other things as well. So I'm quite involved in the startup scene in Malaysia as well. Some of you guys might know me as an investor rather than a founder because I do deploy checks to early stage startups in Malaysia. So if you're interested in those kind of things, do come talk to me. And I'm always here in Monash. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for me. I think you're at free time already.
Thank you very much for the very insightful session. So that is it today for today's speaker session. Thank you all for coming today. And we have a few announcements from our program director. Please welcome.
Okay. Technically we have concluded for today already. So let me just... Okay. So basically we've already concluded for today already. So the bus is here already. I have no idea why. So if you ask me why the bus is here early, I also don't know why. Company also don't know why, fantastically. So the plan right now is I know most of you want to go back to the hotel to develop to do final development. So we already have dinner already, right? Okay. Ben, it's not here. Oh yes, is food. Oh, food will be delivered to submit. Is it here first? Okay. So right now is free time basically until once the food arrives. Then yeah, pick up lah. If like this, okay. So let me think. Okay, we okay. So for participants, they want to take the bus. You can take the bus now. Okay. So once the session ends, you may feel free to return back to your hotel. Dinner will be served, and once we have dinner brought back to the hotel, we will announce in the group. Then you all feel free to come down and take. Okay. Okay. So okay, for tomorrow, right? Uh, tomorrow we will follow the timings from the slide deck that you receive for finalist briefing, which I assume should be 9 a.m. 9:30. Yeah. So 9:30. Like this morning. Okay. Pray cross fingers the bus don't come late lah. If not, I'll whack the driver. So 9:30 we'll depart and we'll reach the hotel. And during that time we should have the setup done already. So we will go through the rehearsals for all the teams. Okay. Then after everybody is only allowed to rehearse once. Okay. So we basically just go through the slides, make sure everything's working, and then make sure the mic and everything is ready. And for the attire, I believe we've already conveyed to everyone since we all are doing pitching. So just try to be in a formal attire lah. Okay. And just to note that this will be live stream. Will be more formal compared to tomorrow, compared to today, and judges will be coming as well. Right. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, we wish you all the best for your final hours. Our submission deadline should be 10 p.m. Yeah, 10 p.m. So after 10 p.m., no changes to be made. You all just need to prepare for your pitch tomorrow. Okay. So all the best. If you need any last minute questions and everything, our core team is available. So please reach out to them as soon as possible. And if you need any of these resources that have been shared today, we will try our best to secure them and release it to everyone. Okay. So with that, everybody, you all can start packing up, and there will be our ushers will lead you to the bus area. Then dinner will be served once we deliver it to the hotel. Okay. Okay, that's it. Thank you, everyone.